Japanese Umamusume training school and college, also known as Tracen, is a prestigious bull training school with long history. Since inception, it has been the factory of champions known home and abroad, earning the school a reputation of championship production line or metal processing plant. Horse girls produced from the school each year also seem to be preferred more by the goddess of victory on the racecourse. However, standing behind the so-called championship production line, we felt a strange phenomenon lingering behind the camera. For more and more information is flowing from source to source, describing the shadow behind such glamour. From birth, these young horse girls, even before they are weaned, are forcibly taken away from their mothers by Tracen selectors, waiting to be raised and trained. These young horse girls are put through a rigorous training program. Although medical experts claim that this training is too much for the young horse girls, this crucial method is still used at the grassroots level of Tracen Academy. Horse girls who are eliminated from the brutal competition end up in the primary school alongside ordinary human children, weeping at the best in the race course. Even after enduring the inhuman, or shall we say, he-uma torture at an early age, there were no respite for the young horse girls who entered the Tracen Academy for further training. On the contrary, in the eye of a certain source who wished to remain anonymous, it was entering Tracen that was the beginning of an endless hell. From the early hours of the morning before the sun rises, horse girls in Tracen are forced to get up for their morning run. Even in the heat of summer, the long-sleeve jackets are worn until the sun goes down. Some of the footage that had managed to escape from the scrutiny shows that the horse girls were even forced to drag the tires of mining trucks during the training in order to exercise their bodies. Or they were forced to cross the channel without protections, exposing them to danger. On the eve of some competitions, some trainers would have even made their students run late into the night on mountain roads, in the midst of the traffic, in order to train their running ability, while the trainers are unattended. Under such torture, the overloaded bodies of Tracen students has long been scarred. This horse girl, after an intense race, could no longer support her fatigued bones, which grew up into fractures. But her trainer continued to assign her heavy training programs in order to throw her into the next race for a medal as soon as possible. In spite of this he-uma treatment, this horse girl was still injecting drugs because of her slow recovery. The students have to accept this with dismay, as the horse girls, after losing their ability to win, has to go to the same ways as those who enter the human primary schools. To compete, to win the medal, and to continue the glory for the academy is the only reason for all Tracen students to race. It is a sign of shame among Tracen students that they have spent the precious training resources without winning a medal. Like this horse girl, we see no joy in her face after her harsh victory, only a sigh of relief. After losing her last match, this poor girl was abducted in a sack on her way to school by enraged classmates and was illegally detained, during which she was brutally abused and humiliated, while the student president who is in charge of the students acquiesced in all this. Yet she understands that this kind of bully will happen to any Tracen students. The only difference between the bully and the victim is that the latter has just lost a race. For example, the horse girls involved in the kidnapping has previously been punished with a hunger strike and even be beaten by fellow team members for finishing at second in an important race. In such a harsh phenomenon, every horse girl actively strains their bodies, even if they are aware that it will later on develop into serious illness. This horse girl, even with years of rheumatic joint problems, does not dare to slow down her stumbling step in the painful rain. However, all of this information comes from the source who wished to remain anonymous. But why is it that we rarely seem to hear complaints from the students or staff at Tracen about the hells behind the boss? An unseen scene reveals the answer to all of this. In front of the press, the supervisor of the front row flipped out the sign to play dumb. In the creepy atmosphere of mutual monitoring, even a trainer cannot escape the threat to make sure they are keeping their mouths shut. Yet, with such a glorious aura of championship, parents continue to send a steady stream of young ponies through the bars to this day. Will the metal processing plant of Tracen Academy continue to mechanically harvest on the innocent young Hoskos from now on? Let's hope not. And that the light of the day is on horizon. More and more images has been circulating on the internet of the young Hoskos bravely revolting against the harnish of their trainers. The future of Tracen, or rather the future of the Hoskos in assembly line and processing plant, is not clear from our mouths through the towering fences, but hopefully they who have the power to decide will be awakened one day.